Hello, 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 folks. I am about to give you some knowledge regarding Nightwave, Glassmaker, Nightwave Series 3, what you're actually supposed to do in this investigation, because there's a lot to take in with, collecting Cephalite and doing the investigation and stuff. So I'm just gonna start right away and just tell you everything you need to do, because it's good stuff. So, first up, the Cephalites, as they say, it is correct that they just sort of spawn in. They just spawn into missions. So this works pretty similarly to how Nightwave Series 1 and Series 2 worked back in the day. Most of you probably played those as well, but if you're a new player who's just starting to get into Nightwave, and this is your first proper series and not just intermission stuff, what happened in the previous ones was that there were these sort of, enemies that just sort of spawned into mission at times. In Series 1, it was just Saturn 6 prisoners. In Series 2, you had like Arlo's zealots and whatnot. So they spawned in, and then you had to fight them. It was random, and then you got sort of rewards for doing it. And it sort of seems to work the same way with these ones, except that it's not enemies that spawn in here. What spawns in here is a sort of fissure that's going to change enemies. They get glassed, and then you destroy the glassed enemies. You get a bit of standing for it with the Nightwave things. You get some Nightwave points for it, and at times you also get this resource, this Cephalite that you're supposed to get. So now you're asking yourself, how can I get this stuff to spawn in? And this isn't exactly clear yet how it works. Some people think that it's on a timer, where it's like on a 25-minute timer, and it's like a global event. So, every 25 minutes, everyone is gonna have like Cephalites spawning in their missions at the exact same time. People have been testing that on stream. There might be something to that. That might also not be the case. It could also be when you're like just free roaming here in the Orb Vallis, that, after a set amount of time from spawning in, they show up. Some people have been like just doing their business in the Orb Vallis, mining, fishing, doing K-drive racing, and suddenly there's, hey, Cephalites. So exactly how often they spawn in is not super clear yet, but it seems to be around every 25 minutes or so. So you can just play normal missions, and eventually you'll get them to spawn in that way. They will turn enemies into glassed enemies. Those enemies get like sort of a glass shielding around them, and they are completely protected from damage until you destroy the glass, and then you can kill them. You were supposed to kill them. If you do kill them, then you will get sometimes this resource. And you're supposed to collect 10 of them. Alright? So that's step 1. So what we're gonna do is we're simply just gonna cruise around the Orb Vallis until we get a call from Nora informing us that, oh shit, there's glass enemies or whatever nearby. And when that happens, we find the fissure. We try to lure as many enemies as we can into the fissure, because that will turn them into glassed enemies. More glassed enemies you get a greater chance of dropping the resource. And yes, people, it does seem like you can use items and warframes that increase drop rates, like Hydroid with Pilfering Swarm, or Necros with Desecrate, to get you extra item drops. And you can get like extra Cephalite for that. It also seems that you can use Ivara and go and steal from them while you're invisible. So you can just nab like a Cephalite from one of them, and then you can kill them and get another Cephalite for that. So that's also an option for farming. And I guess we'll see in the coming days when people figure out more ways of doing this. But for now, I'm just gonna cruise around. I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna cut back in when we get a spawn.
We've got signals singing the same song as our victim.
Aha! Okay, so we got the call from Nora. I guess they're nearby. Now we're just gonna find them. If I was on foot, this would have been a little bit easier. Let's see. Maybe we can hear them? Is this it? Yes, see there? There it is. The Cephalite fissure. So we wanna like lure people close to them. And then they look like this. They've become glassed, as you can see. So it's invulnerable until you break the glass. I have an explosive weapon, so you know that's not that big of a deal. Got some Glassmaker standing. Ooh, another one. First you break the glass, then you can kill the guy. Is that all of them? Were there any others? Well, seems like it's all of them for now. Yeah. So that's what that looks like. And then you can just check your rewards. You'll see, look at that. I got 1 Cephalite resonance out of that. So, you know. That's how it's done. Basically. And then you keep doing that. Until you have 10 of them. And once you have 10 Cephalite resonances... oh! Aha! Another fissure.
Dreamer, there's gotta be a way to take these things down.
Yeah. I am taking them down. Let's see. It's just one? Ah, just one this time. Okay. But you see, like, they spawn in. They spawn in, and then you just pop them. You get the resonance. You get the points. But yeah, once you have 10 Cephalite resonances, we can move on to the next step. And the next step, aha! Is the actual investigation. Come on, guys, get glassed. Go closer to the thing and get glassed, all of you. Alright, there we go. Yeah. And I got another resonance. Easy peasy. So, you know, it doesn't take that long. If you're in the Ore Valleys and just run around, once they start spawning in, you can just... I already got 3. You can just collect them pretty quickly. And you should have 10 in no time. And once you have 10, we will move on to the next phase, which is the actual investigation. And that took a while. Yeah, after trying it out for myself, you know, I guess I can sort of, at least, not hard confirm maybe, but soft confirm that it seems to be on a cycle. That they spawn in about every 25 minutes, it felt like. And every time they spawn in, you can get like between 1 and 3 of these resonances, it seems. Sometimes you can get less, but I think it should be 3. And then I think you can, you know, scam it with stuff like Hydroid or Necros to get more than that. So you can increase the farm speed. But as we can see here now in my inventory... There we go. 10 Cephalite resonances. Now, we can proceed with our investigation. So, we're gonna need to tune in. And,
those cubes, you know, cephalons, right?
Yeah.
Probably got one a bit cracked, kissing up to you all.
Skip cinematic. So, by this point, you've already done this.
That's it, I guess.
Investigate the crime scene and all that.
You see it change?
Now, this is important. This is really important. This is an investigation, which means you have to actually investigate the crime scene. You can't just click on the stuff and then click it down and never think about it again. Because this is randomized. This is not gonna be the same for everyone, so you gotta see what it is in your game. In my game, the murder weapon is a knife. Okay?
Not the tools of someone who works the tower scaffolds. Was he expecting trouble?
That's clue number 1. Clue number 2. The decrypted message. Aha. I am supposed to give them a tubular array. So what I'm doing is I'm writing this down.
Looking for custom tech, but it sounds like our guy didn't have the means.
And here with the Ayatan Eye, there are a couple of different symbols that they can have. 3 different, I think. And I got the symbol that looks like a sword.
Folklore has it these Ayatans used to hold memories. Nowadays, some Austrians survive peddling old war trinkets like this, harvested from the tower.
Now, you know what? I'm just gonna click the chat away. It's bothering me. Thank you. This is a picture of Maru. Okay.
Community, sharing. It's ingrained in Austrian culture. Unusual that one would be looking to make a score of their own outside their commune markets.
And finally, I got this here note. With the name. The name is Prageshta. So those are my 5 clues. So, what's gonna happen once you start investigating is that you're gonna be put in a scenario where you have to answer questions regarding this investigation by jumping on platforms, jumping on the correct platforms. I'm telling you already, because I won't have time to tell you while this thing is ongoing, because you will have a 60-second timer that's gonna tick down like when this starts. And I think they're probably gonna patch this or fix this. So this might not always be true. By the time of recording this is how it works. And that is that the timer is still ticking while the narrative is ongoing and while people are talking, which means, unfortunately, in this narrative event, you don't have time to listen to what they're saying, because there's not enough time on the clock. You just have to run from platform to platform to make it in time. Because if you fail, that's it. You'll be thrown back out into the orbiter, and those 10 resonances are gone. So you'd have to farm another 10 resonances. So you wanna nail this one on your first attempt. So we're gonna go in. I've written it down. Also, if you fuck up the platforming and fall off, you also fail and have to redo it. So, you know, don't fuck up. So we're just gonna go in, and we're gonna nail this on the first attempt. You ready, people?
Used to be a middle-aged Austrian, but he's been degraded from the inside out. Glassed. But not all the way. You see in that left hand? Burned. Weirdest of the weird. What's left of him is resonating. Like singing some weird-ass song. Not digging this. Not at all.
So here we go. Boom.
I'm so glad you're here. Was old Shay a mutual acquaintance?
I'm gonna guess
Did you know him?
that this is the Glassmaker. Aha! Sword.
You talked, daffy old shit. If you think of your opinions
Maru.
of criminals, the depraved.
What do we got? The knife? No, that wasn't the knife. It looked like the knife, but that wasn't the knife.
Dreamer, where did you go? Did you get anything on the Glassmaker?
And unfortunately, I don't have any more Cephalite resonance. Yeah, so now I gotta go and farm another 10 of these. Whew. Okay. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say that I messed that up, but I didn't. I did not. See, what I did was I intentionally failed that just so that I could show you what happens when you fail the test. Yes, that's what happened. I intentionally failed it just so that I could show you what happens if you fail the test. Ha 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 ha. So, I have once again gathered 10 resonance so that I can attempt this trial again. In so doing, I tried some stuff just to test the drop rates, where I tried to equip a Necros with Desecrate to see if like that would increase the drop rates. Maybe it did, because I ran on Hydron on the defense mission, and whenever they spawned, I got 6 resonance instead of the 3 that I got in the Orb Valis. So it might be that I actually do get like double drops. I also ran it another time together with a Korra to see if it stacks with her Pilfering Strangledome. But no, once again, I had Desecrate on, she had Pilfering Strangledome, still only got 6 resonance. So I'm not sure if you get more for running these abilities or not, but what I do know, or at least what it seems like, is that these abilities do not stack. So you don't need to do that, at least. I have not yet tried another method that I've heard that you can do, which is double dipping with Ivara. If you go stealth and pickpocket, some people have claimed that you can first pickpocket a resonance from a glassed enemy, and then you can kill it and get another resonance, thereby getting like double drops. I have not tested this yet, so it's just a theory out there that like that's something you can do. If you have an Ivara, feel free to test that for yourself. But for now, we're gonna dive back in to this investigation and see if we can actually do it this time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my sweet notes, and I wrote from the previous attempt.
You know, Cephalons, right? Probably got one
Yeah.
of them cracked, kissing up to you all the time. See, in the old days, crime and
Bloody, bloody, blah. We can skip this. Seen this already. So we know what the clues are. The knife. The knife, the tubular array, the sword logo on the Ayaton symbol, the image of Maru, and the name Prageshta. So I fucked up because I didn't pick the knife. I picked something else that I thought looked like a knife, but it wasn't. Second attempt, Glassmaker. Let's find out. Sword. That is correct. Maru. Now, where's the sword? Ah, the knife. There we go. This time I picked it correctly. Tubular array. And Prageshta. Got it. Haha!
A foul necrocapitalist, a clear violator of the 401st and 623rd Lane.
Okay.
Association. I am now witness.
Fascinating. A demon, self-made. Like, those look like the new shoulder pads And that looks like an armpit and like a necklace. So, and like very like ashen gray skin. So obviously this looks like an Orokin. The shoulder of an Orokin. Okay. Lived too long in the shadow of the tower. So, an Ostron. I assume it's the Tower of the Unum he's talking about. I had allowed myself the belief that all things Orokin were good, as the Unum is good. Not so. The past is no tree of plenty, not all of its fruits sweet. Ah, that this should be the last thing I learn. Not so. Not so. Learned at the hand of a demon self-made. Here's the thing. He says, this should be the last thing I learn. That's something you say, like, before you die. Right? He's talking about believing that the Orokin were good. Not so. So, I'm still thinking that this could be a Cephalon. Because, like, Cephalons are very old. They, you know, they were created in the Orokin era. So, this might be just like some sort of ceremonial thing that he was draped in before he got turned. I don't know. But I still believe that this killer is a Cephalon who was turned into a Cephalon, obviously, by the Orokin. And the last thing he learned is that the Orokin are not good. Oh, got 7,000 Nightwave points for doing that.
Legum? That's an Orokin word. Means law. Ain't nobody using that word these days. He sounds friendly enough, but listen to that anger. Anger like that only builds. The soul he took held a clue. My gut says the only way you're tracking the Glassmaker is from inside that maze. Bad news is the trail's gone cold. But the bad vibe snaking up my spine says it won't be for long. Stay in touch, Dreamer. The Glassmaker's just getting started. I can feel it.
So obviously this is gonna go on for a while. Yay! That gave us a rank up.
Lay 'em low and burn their shadow.
So now we have done the first clue. But I guess we have to do all 5 of them. And we have to wait, I guess now, until sort of like the next one unlocks. Is that like gonna be like a week from now? It's gonna be 2 weeks from now? Who knows? We are not meant to know these things.
Let's get back to it.
But that's it. That's how you do the first investigation. So, you know, crack this case open on your account. Join us. We're gonna hunt this guy down. You'll see. We're gonna be super good detectives, all of us, you and me. We're doing it together. We all live together.